What's going on, YouTube? Today I bring you my edge rankings for the 2022 NFL Draft. This is a very deep, good edge class. So yeah, and also a lot of very they don't really fit exactly defensive end or outside linebacker. A lot of them can play both. But starting off at number one, we have Kayvon Thibodeaux. I mean, there's no surprise here. Like, Kayvon Thibodeaux is, he's basically on that Chase Young level in terms of, just how incredible of an athlete he is on the defensive line. And honestly, I think he might be better than both Nick Bosa and Chase Young. And we know that both of those guys have been extremely talented pass rushers for Washington and the Niners. So with Kayvon Thibodeaux, I mean, you look at it and he just has it all. I mean, he's got that incredible size, because for that size, he's so quick and athletic too. Like, his first step is just incredible. He has that versatility to really play like defensive end or outside linebacker for you. He can be that 4-3 D end or the 3-4 D end. He's got a great arsenal of pass rush moves. Like, he's got like this power in his play. Like, I don't list it here because there's only like so much I have space here to say, but like, his hand placement is fantastic. Like, Kayvon Thibodeaux is a special player. There's like this guy and like Kyle Hamilton, who we'll talk about in my safety rankings, who like I really, really like in this draft class. And Kayvon Thibodeaux, like, honestly has potential to be like, he could have been the best player in last year's draft class. And that was considering we had Trevor Lawrence, Kyle Pitts, Penei Sewell, So yeah, Kayvon Thibodeaux, like, I list here his weakness is run defense. Kind of, not really. Like, it's the one thing you can kind of look at and say, okay, well, he's not elite at run defending. Even then, he's not bad. So all around, Kayvon Thibodeaux he's such a good prospect. So I have him here at number one. Number two, we have Zach Harrison out of Ohio State. This is a guy that I really, really like. I might actually like him a bit more than other people, although I have seen a lot of other people put him in the top 10. Another guy with really nice size. Now, he doesn't quite have that, he doesn't have that elite, like, first step. He doesn't have that elite, like, presence to the same of Kayvon Thibodeaux. He is still a fantastic pass rusher. Similar to Thibodeaux, like, he's super versatile to where he can play like that defensive end in both schemes or like that outside linebacker role. Obviously he wouldn't be the best in pass coverage, but like he fits that. Once again, has really nice size. He's young as well. He's only 19. Also has incredible hand placement. Like, he's super, super athletic. Besides Kayvon Thibodeaux, maybe the most athletic edge in this class. And also his speed. Like, his use of speed off of the edge is really what gives him the upper hand a lot of the time. Now, he doesn't have that raw power compared to like a Kayvon Thibodeaux, which is what does put him, like, down at number two. But like, in his arsenal isn't the best. He could expand on it a little bit, but beyond those two things, like, Zach Harrison is also a fantastic prospect and is, like any other draft class, your number one, unless you have a guy like Thibodeaux in there. So, yeah, number two, though, easily for me is going to be Zach Harrison, also a great, great prospect. Number three, we have Brenton Cox Jr. I know this, like, after the first two, it's definitely where it gets diversive for me. I know a lot of people do not like Brenton Cox, especially to put him at like number three, but I like my versatile guys. First off, like, he's similar again. Like, he can play that kind of like defensive end role, but also the outside linebacker. And unlike Thibodeaux and Harrison, he's actually not bad in pass coverage. He's got that versatility. Like, really, if you really wanted to, you could move this guy to like linebacker, and I think he would be pretty good there too. He's also got really nice size, especially for the position and the role he plays. He's got really nice size. Now, he's a little bit up there in age. He'll be 22 by NFL season, 23 if he stays one more year. So he's a little up there in age, but it's nothing big. But similar to like I'm getting kind of some Azeez Ojulari vibes off of him. Now, Brenton Cox is much better in pass coverage than Azeez Ojulari, but the way he uses like that speed around the edge, and while he doesn't possess like raw power, he plays with more power than he really has. And so like he uses that combination of speed and power really well to get around the edge. I think Florida is a much better fit for him than Georgia. So I'm expecting him to have a big year this year. in his second year with the Gators, I believe. So, yeah, Brenton Cox here. I know I'm a lot higher than him on most people. He's not a good run defender. No, he's not the best. But, like, I think he holds a ton of upside, and just the way he uses his pass rush, I love guys like that. Like, Azeez Ojulari was my number 1 in the class last year over, over Kwity Paye and stuff, because I really like these types of pass rushers. So I have Brenton Cox here at number 3. Number 4, I have Drake Jackson out of USC. This is a weird guy for me because, like, on paper, he's got a lot of really favorable traits. Like, he's got really nice size, obviously. He is going to be that defensive end. He's not going to be, like, an outside linebacker like some of these other guys. 20 years old in his third year here. Like, again, like, he has some really nice traits. Like, the power is kind of there. I don't think it's, like, he doesn't play with more power than he has, and he doesn't have extremely good raw power, but he has some nice power to his game. And his hand placement is also well. Like, really what I see most out of Drake Jackson is the upside, because there's just a lot of other stuff. Like, his athleticism is not where I feel like it needs to be, obviously, and he's that defensive end role, but he's still far from athletic, and he's not very fast either, so that really limits him in his run defense. He doesn't set the edge for you, and I also don't feel like he's that good of, like, a line setter either. So overall, when it comes to run defense, I just really don't like what I see. And the arsenal, it's lacking. I understand why a lot of people like this guy. Like, he does hold a ton of upside. There are favorable traits, but I think all these people putting him in, like, the top 10, top 15. For me right now, he's a late first rounder. I don't see any way he is a top 10 player right now, personally. He has the upside to be. He could break out this year. I just don't see it personally. Number 5 is Myjon Sanders out of Cincinnati. Again, like, I'm definitely higher on this guy than a lot of other people, and just, again, because I like these types of players. But, like, he's got really nice size, 6'5", 258. He's not only actually, like, a very good pass rusher, but also is very good in pass coverage as well. Similar to Brenton Cox, he could really move to linebacker if he wanted, and that's why I think he's an outside linebacker in the NFL, even if he doesn't always play that role. He's in his 4th year here at Cincinnati. I believe he's 22, but I couldn't verify that anywhere. But yeah, again, like, he's got that pass coverage ability, which is why that versatility is big, because, like, if you really want it, you can put him on those, like, defensive end, set the edge plays, but he can also play the outside linebacker and can also switch to, like, actual linebackers. So there's a lot to like. Again, his size, like, for his size, he's got really nice speed and quickness. So, like, and he uses it to his advantage. So, like, just the combination of size and stuff. Now, I'll admit, no, he does not have the most power. He's definitely not a powerful guy. And, like, with edge setting, like, you can move him there, but there are times where he struggles mainly because his hands, like I say, could use some work. Like, there's a few mental aspects of the game, and I definitely understand why people don't like him as much. Like, they don't think he's going to be that good a pass rusher. He doesn't have that mental side. He is bad at edge setting at times, but I think that's something you can work out pretty easily. I think he holds a lot of potential, and overall, I really like his game and everything about him, so he's going to be my number 5 here. Number 6, we have Nick Bonito out of Oklahoma, and, like, this is a guy that's weird, again, because, he's like, Kyle Van Noy, I just feel like is, like, the perfect comparison for this guy. Like, he's smaller than some of these other guys, but he's still obviously a big person. He's 21 years old in his 4th year in college. Like, he's got some really nice strengths. Like, his hands are really good. He's actually pretty good in pass coverage, and that's why I compare him to, like, Kyle Van Noy, because, you can kind of set him up at that outside linebacker role, which is where I think he'll play, and sort of like a Kyle Van Noy, you kind of either rush him or you can let him step back and get into pass coverage. And he's also got nice power to his game. Like, when he does pass rush, he's good at using that, like, hand and power combination. The reason why he's down here at number 6 is because, first off, I think his arsenal is definitely lacking. It could be a lot better. And a lot deeper. He does not have a lot of pass rush moves. And for being a good pass cover, like, he's not very fast. He's more of, like, he stays in his zone, but he's great in his zone. And again, that comes with the power. He's able to knock those balls out and stuff. So, like, his speed isn't there. And, like, as a pass rusher, the first step isn't there either. Like, this is not a guy that's going to be explosive coming off the edge. He's a guy that you can hope to get some pressure on. If not, drop him back, and he'll do pretty good where you set him. He's a good player overall, but I don't really see the upside on him, and so that's why I have him at number 6. Number 7, we have Zion Tupiola. Learning to say this guy's name. Zion Tupiola Fatui. I think you have to tell me how to say the T part. Like really, really feels like Cameron Jordan to me. 6'3", 280. He's obviously like a defensive end. I think he fits much better as like a 4-3 defensive end. 4th year here at Washington. I believe he's been at Washington his entire career. The things that obviously pop out immediately is the power. Like, this guy is a fantastic power rusher, and because of that, like, he is really good at not only like setting the edge, but also like as a line player. He keeps that just bend around the quarterback because he is such a powerful guy, but he also just stuffs that defensive line so well. Once again, also has really nice hand placement, but the size, like, it's, he's 6'3", 280. Like, I feel like that's kind of like the perfect combination for like this type of a player. I mean, maybe you want him a little bit taller, but still, like, overall, like, he's not athletic. No, he is a 1-year wonder so far. Like, he really has only had one good season. That was just his last year. So we'll see if he can do it again, because if he has a similar year of production, he will very, very likely be a top 5 edge player and maybe even a first-round pick. Right now, I have him as a late second, just because I want to see what he did last year again. But, like, if this guy keeps it up, like, he is a very, very good power rusher and would fit perfectly as like a 4-3 D end. And so I really like Zion. It's just, will he do it again? Number 8, we have Tyreek Smith out of Ohio State. Tyreek Smith is a frustrating prospect because, again, on paper, he's a fantastic prospect. Like, 6'4", 267. Like, he's got really nice size, but like, and he's got that raw power. It's just like he doesn't always use it the best to his advantage. And he's got upside for sure. I say yet to see here because, like, I feel like Ohio State really just doesn't use him correctly. Like, he's that power rusher that's really should be there to like set the edge. You shouldn't be expecting this guy to get many like sacks. You shouldn't expect him to drop into pass coverage like ever. That's why he's strictly a defensive end to me. I just don't feel like Ohio State uses him that way. I feel like he's been misutilized, and in the NFL, he can be a really good like edge setter, but obviously you're not going to like be drafted that highly if that's all you are. Production has definitely been like an issue for him. He's not very athletic. He's not very quick either, and the run defense can use some help. So when you take the fact that like we've really just not seen anything from him in college, the run defense is pretty poor. Like, if you take it at face value, with the upside, with the traits he does possess, he could be a great defensive end in the NFL. We just don't know if he will be. So this is a guy that, like, unless he has some big breakout year this year, I very well would imagine going like 6th, 7th round right now. I have him a bit higher because, like, I don't want to say he'll go 6th, 7th round. He has so much more potential than that. But if he doesn't have a good year again, like, I feel like some team's still going to take him because of that, like, potential in the traits, but we'll have to see. So number 9, we have George Karlaftis out of Purdue, and again, another frustrating prospect because he's once again got really nice size, 6'4", 270. He's that defensive end role. Actually reminds me a bit of Ryan Kerrigan when he came out of Purdue. Obviously Ryan Kerrigan is a bit of a better pass rusher in my opinion. Like with Karlaftis, he's got really nice power. Like, he's a great line setter. Like, he's got like that upside. He's got that great like defensive line presence, setting the edge, stuff in the line. Like, he has all that. It's just he's not very athletic and he doesn't have the best arsenal, first off, but he's a 1-year wonder. Like, he had a great season in his rookie year, and then last year just stunk. Like, I want to see that again from him. Like, if he shows me his 2019 version of himself, he'll definitely jump back into like top 5 edge. But like, when you take like last season and the season before, I think that's a perfect mix for, is he just a 1-year wonder? Because he has all these traits, he has like this high upside, but if he played it for 1 year, like, is it really worth like looking into, can he do it again? So Karlaftis is an interesting player. I think he'll be drafted regardless. Like, again, he has those traits. He at least showed it 1 year, but it's really just how high can he be drafted? He has to do 2019 again if he wants to be drafted highly. So Karlaftis, ton of potential, great traits along the defensive line. Like, it's a great run defender and gets pressure and stuff, but we just really need to see that 2019 version of himself. And then number 10, we have Aiden Hutchinson, and once again, a weird prospect because, like, through his career at Michigan, like, he's never been really the number one, especially, like, considering, when you had Kwity Paye there and stuff, he was never the number one. And even when he had the number one, when he was the number two, right, he's not getting the top blockers, he's not getting double teamed all that much. He still really didn't put up the amount of production you would want. His arsenal is still lacking. He does not have that kind of power you're looking for when it comes to his play style. And I don't feel like the upside is there. I feel like this is a guy that, it's hit or miss. And even then, the hit is a decent starter at best. He's a great edge setter. Like, he is probably the best in the class, to be honest. Like, he's athletic. He does have some nice run defense at times, but he doesn't create pass rush all that much. And he is NFL ready. Like, it's not hit or miss in the terms of, like, boom or bust. Hit or miss to me is more just like, are you gonna get what you think you're gonna get? Because, like, he's NFL ready. He doesn't have that upside, though. He's a great edge setter. Like, we know he'll be a good edge setter in the NFL. It's just, will he be anything more than that? I really don't think so. I have him all the way here at 10. I'd imagine right now, like, he'd probably be a 3rd, 4th round pick. He just, like, what he does isn't that valuable, because even if you are an elite edge setter, like, you have better guys that can also set the edge. So it's like, if that's all you're doing, he's got really nice size. He's got some traits, but the upside isn't there. And we haven't even talked about the fact that he's going to be the number one for the first time in his career at Michigan. So, like, how is he going to handle that? We'll have to see. I really don't expect anything special from Aidan Hutchinson. I didn't want to take him off this list because he is still, a likely player to rise, but, like, he is down here 10. And then just some other guys to take note in, and there is a lot. Like I said, this is a deep class. Adam Anderson out of Georgia, maybe the best run defender in this class. He is incredible, but beyond that, he's literally nothing else, and I'd rather have someone who's decent at everything than someone who's great at one thing and sucks at everything else. Kingsley Enagbare is more just a name I've heard a lot. A lot of people really like this guy. I just haven't looked at him enough to really put him on the list or anything, but it's still someone you should take note in. D'Angelo Malone out of Western Kentucky. I think he should have come out last year. I don't think he's going to do anything else, like, special this year. At least nothing special enough for him to come back. So, whatever, he came back. Ali Gay out of LSU, I just want to see more. Like, he needs to play at a higher level than he really has. Right now, I don't even know if he'd be drafted, to be honest. Like, he has that traits and the potential and stuff, but he just hasn't shown it. Nolan Smith out of Georgia, he's a fine enough pass rusher. He's just kind of your typical, set the edge, sort of similar to Aidan Hutchinson, although he does have a bit of upside. He hasn't played, like, as well, and that's considering Aidan Hutchinson hasn't played all that well. Xavier Thomas, again, just want to see it again. He's a very talented pass rusher with the traits. He has the upside. It's just, can he show me it again? And then Big Cat Bryant out of Auburn, a fun name, but also just, someone to take note in that could be a potential, big riser this year. So he once again got the traits, got the upside. It's just, who hits that upside? Really, no one can guess. No one can predict. It's all guesses. But that is the video. So if you guys did like the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see all you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.